First, hear this.
Jimmy Page had put together sort of a supergroup, you know? Keith Moon actually said, this is gonna go down like a Led Zeppelin, right?
The lead, what?
The Led Zeppelin, but I'm afraid that you and other dads like you, Bob, may never have heard of them.
But when they came out in 1968, John Bonham's sound, those big drums, and the way they captured them, that jumped out of your speakers in a different way.
That's him on that first record, from the first song, from Good Times, Bad Times, with the double bass thing, you know. And the cowbell. This and his sound, he was like a completely, to me, self-realized musician when he was a teenager, when he was 19.
Up to this point, most drummers are going, you're not getting a lot of like tricky, intricate bass drum parts. Bonham comes out of the gate, track 1, side 1 of Led Zeppelin 1, first album. He's playing a lot of triples and doubles with his foot. He could have just went, in the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man, right? People would probably thought it was great and we'd be talking about a whole different beat. But he goes,
John Bonham, Moby Dick!
I think these days that let's say the public, you know, it's not just say the kids, because we've had sort of all sorts of people at concerts, you know. I think that they're coming to listen to what you're playing and not just to look at you and see what you are. I mean, I remember when let's go back a few years, when I first went to see the Beatles, because we've mentioned them a few times, it was to look at them, you know. These days, it's not what you are, it's what you're playing.
Bonham changed the whole approach to rock drumming. It's a lot to do with his feel. Bonham knew Motown. Bonham knew jazz. He knew Roy Haynes and Art Blakey, Buddy Rich, and Gene Krupa. He had that funk. He had that Bernard Purdie thing, you know? Those kind of little funky licks he had straight, balls to the wall, rock and roll. You know, you think of Chuck Berry, you know, but then you slow that down a little bit and you put some grease on it and you play it on this big kit and you get that Bonham sound.
John Bonham was the ultimate rock drummer. He had technique, feel, power, the sound, and the showmanship. He also played a mean drum solo, which he helped make a vital part of the repertoire of rock.
Drum solos in rock and roll started to happen sometime in 67, 68, when you had the jazz-influenced drummers playing in rock and roll. The guitar players would stretch out, and they'd play solos. Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck. And once those kind of virtuosic instrumentalists came on the scene, they had a drummer counterpart.
Right from early days, it was virtually had to play a drum solo. It was like demanded. and was always the highlight of the evening.
Ginger Baker played Toad. That was his feature with Cream. And then John Bonham had his vehicle, Moby Dick. The tune was just a simple blues, but his soloing was more emotionally charged and dynamic. After that, a lot of drummers played solos. There was an Iron Butterfly album that took up like one whole side of an album. Carmine Apiece. Grand Funk Railroad came out with Don Brewer. And it's a means of expression and a means of communicating to the audience and making a statement that's all connected to the music.
John Bonham on drums. Moby Dick